You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Tuesday the 17th of June, 2025. It is 89 days after the spring equinox. It is 3 days before the summer solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 29th day of Prairial, the day of the pivoine, the peony. The sun rises today at 5:24 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:57 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:30 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 9:03 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:46 p.m. The length of daytime today is 14 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 62% full at midday. The last quarter will arrive tomorrow. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 3:16 a.m., 1 meter 52. In the morning, low tide, 9:31 a.m., 3 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 3:52 p.m., 1 meter 52. At night, low tide, 9:58 p.m., 21 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, under the trees, small swarms of flies circle and circle. Apparently, they are mostly males, waiting to attract mates. As they hover together, describing wide arcs in their flight paths, sometimes two suddenly meet and in swift right turns fly directly away from each other. A touch of male aggression in the heart of mating season. Commemorations. On this day in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York Harbor aboard the French steamer Isère. The statue had been constructed by the architecture firm of Gaget Gauthier Compagnie at its premises in Paris at 25 Rue de Chazelle in the 17th arrondissement. The statue loomed over the Parc Monceau, standing 111 feet 6 inches from foot to the top of her head. Its designer, Frederic Auguste Bartholdi, opened an office nearby to supervise the process. Once the fabrication was finished, the statue was disassembled and packed into 212 crates, some of them 20 feet long. The statue weighed 220 tons. 200,000 people lined the docks, and hundreds of boats put to sea to welcome the ship to New York Harbor. We welcome Lady Liberty on this anniversary. On this day in 1930, President Herbert Hoover signed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act into law. The act was a protectionist response to the onset of the Great Depression. The act raised tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods. Unfortunately, our trading partners retaliated with tariffs of their own. Instead of bolstering domestic employment and production, the act resulted in a decline of 65% in global trade. The Depression was made worse. On this day in 1958, the Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe's novel Things Fall Apart was first published in London by Heinemann. Achebe was just 28 years old at the time. His book was a landmark for African literature on the world stage. Remember today James Weldon Johnson, born on this day in 1871. The poet, lyricist, and leader of the NAACP wrote the words to Lift Every Voice and Sing, often referred to as the Black National Anthem. His brother, John Rosamond Johnson, wrote the music. We will all have a golden chance to sing the song in just 2 days, on Juneteenth. On this day in 1903, Ruth Graves Wakefield was born. She invented the chocolate chip cookie. She and her husband, Kenneth Wakefield, opened an inn in 1930 on the old toll road between New Bedford and Boston. They named it the Toll House Inn. Ruth Wakefield's new cookie was a fortuitous accident. Discovering she had run out of baker's chocolate, she found some bars of semi-sweet chocolate given to her by Andrew Nestle. She crumbled them into her dough. When the cookies emerged from the oven, she discovered the chocolate hadn't melted. The chips remained intact, sprinkled through the blonde cookies. She published the recipe in her book, Ruth Wakefield's Toll House Tried and True Recipes. Nestle would later publish her recipe on the back of its chocolate chip boxes. An American staple was born. And that is the Observatory, Tuesday, the 17th of June, 2025.